All right, name the town. I'll be on my way in the morning. What? Nineveh? You don't want me to go there.
In a land of mystery.
Nineveh! It's the other end of the world!
In a town full of trouble.
Nineveh, the biggest, meanest city around.
Those people do not know right from wrong.
It's up to one reluctant asparagus.
You are Jonah! You are a big shot! I have the Jonah plush toy.
With the help of some fearless friends.
We are the pirates who don't do anything.
Oh, you know that's right. Nothing. Zilch. Nada.
Oh, lovely.
To go where no vegetable has dared to go.
We got trouble.
You're...
Fish food! Big Idea Productions presents Archibald Asparagus. Bob the Tomato.
Oh, dear.
Larry the Cucumber.
Perhaps I can be of assistance.
Oops.
And introducing a caterpillar named Khalil.
That is only half true. My mother was a caterpillar. My father was a worm. But I am okay with that now.
They may be fresh.
They're fresh when we cut them.
They may be feisty.
Didn't I tell you to get off my ship, you lousy leaf eater? Fire one!
But soon, they may be lunch. Jonah, a VeggieTales movie. Now on DVD and video.
It is very delightful, but I must go now.
Big Idea presents
The Ballad of Little Joe.
The good news is that this is a Western.
Hello, little doggy.
The bad news is that our hero runs into a string of bad luck.
This does not look good.
The good news is that he never gives up hope.
You did it, little Joe. Now we're ready for anything.
Bad things happen to good people, and a cucumber in a Stetson is going to show you why.
Crazy, huh?
Only VeggieTales can tell the story of Joseph like this.
Yippee-ki-yay, today is a special day.
The Ballad of Little Joe, including a silly song featuring boys in the sing.
Baby needs to tell you something. I don't got a belly button. Oh, I need...
Available on video and DVD from the studios of Big Idea. Stay tuned for more after our feature.
Okay, Larry, it's time for the theme song.
Yeah, Bob. What do I do?
Let's see. I know. You play the guitar.
Bob, I don't have any hands.
Oh, you're right. Well, okay. Well, you play this.
I don't want to play that. I'll look silly.
Oh, come on. It'll be fun.
Nope. Not gonna do it.
It's for the kids.
Oh, okay. But they better not laugh.
All right. Better get on out there.
If you like to talk to tomatoes, if a squash can make you smile, if you like to waltz with potatoes, up and down the produce aisle, have we got a show for you?
VeggieTales, 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 VeggieTales.
Broccoli, celery, gotta be
VeggieTales.
Lima beans, collard greens, peachy keen,
VeggieTales.
cauliflower, sweet and sour, half an hour.
VeggieTales. There's never ever been a show like VeggieTales. There's never ever been a show like VeggieTales. It's time for VeggieTales.
They call me Larry Boy! Bob? Bob! Could you, could you give me a hand? Hey there, citizen! Hey, you over there! Look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me! Bob! Oh dear. Ouch.
Dave and the Giant Pickle was the fifth video. We started out with Where's God When I'm Scared, which was there were just three of us killing ourselves. Then we did God Wants Me to Forgive Them, and there were still, I think there were four of us when we did that one, and we killed ourselves trying to make it, a little bit better. And then we did Are You My Neighbor, and then we did Rack Shack and Benny. And on Rack Shack and Benny, I think we were up to 6 people. And it was way too ambitious. It was huge with factories, chase scenes, the whole thing. Rack Shack and Benny, really almost killed us. So as that was winding down and it was time to write the next one, my only thought was, let's make it simple and silly.
We did it in about 4 months, which I think it still holds a record for the most quickly completed show. Even though it's simple, the story still holds up.
I was reading the story of David and Goliath, and it starts, when you get actually to the battle, it starts out, it says, the two armies, the Philistines and the Israelites, were camped out on opposing hills, and in the morning, the armies would line up facing each other and would yell at each other. They would yell, and that's how they started battles back then. They would yell, insults back and forth at each other. And the first thing that popped into my head was the Frenchman from Monty Python and the Holy Grail on the wall yelling. And I thought, okay, that's, those are my Philistines. They're going to be, Monty Python Frenchmen. Why peas? I think it was just because I knew we could afford to do a lot of simple spheres. That would be relatively easy if we had to make a lot of them. Everything else is too complicated.
Chris Olsen and I did the voices for the two up front P's, Jean-Claude and I don't know if we named him Christophe P or something like that. And then later Phil came in and started doing Philippe P, and then Jean-Claude and Philippe sort of, were the P pair. But yeah, Chris I guess had studied French or something like that, and I knew no French. But I have the gravelly French accent, so I did Philippe P. No, I did Jean-Claude P, not Philippe.
Dave and the Giant Pickle was also the introduction of Larry's alter ego, Larry Boy.
I am that hero!
And I had an idea kicking around in my head for a Batman spoof where Bob would actually be Bat Bob and Larry would be Larry Boy.
When we introduced Larry Boy for the first time, Larry is not feeling special at the beginning, and so he thinks that he has to dress up like a superhero to feel special. And then Dave and the Giant Pickle is about, God being able to use you no matter how little you are or no matter, what you think your own abilities are. And then later Larry learns that, he's special just the way he is, but he can still dress up like Larry Boy if he wants to. Larry Boy's voice is a little bit different. I mean, it's not that easy to tell, but
Larry the Cucumber is, just kind of a little bit higher and, a little windier, I guess.
And then Larry Boy gets a little gruffer.
I'm Larry Boy. Say there, citizen.
So it just a little bit more gravel in the Larry voice. And actually, the Larry Boy voice, I can do Larry all day, but I need like 5 gallons of water in the booth if I'm going to do Larry Boy because it's really gravelly.
David was a shepherd, and so we thought, okay, what vegetable should we use for sheep? No, wait a minute. That doesn't seem right. So then, can we use sheep for sheep? And if so, can they be scaled as if the vegetables were people to the sheep? Otherwise the vegetables would be this big and the sheep would be huge. And so that was the first time we really started stretching the metaphor, from going into this all-vegetable world to going into an all-vegetable world and finding an animal that's scaled, appropriately to the vegetables. And then we've taken all sorts of liberties with that since. But it was a major milestone in veggie history to say we can introduce animals into this world and scale them down. And it changed everything.
I love my lips.
I Love My Lips, the silly song, has proven to be a favorite. When it started out, Mike came in and said, okay, I got the new silly song. It's I Love My Tongue.
And it was actually, at the time, kind of a yodeling thing, and I wanted to give Larry a reason to yodel, and so it started off as I Love My Tongue, because, yodely, yodely, there's just a lot of, that flying around when you're yodeling. And so, it started to turn into a song called I Love My Tongue, which just sounded kind of weird. And so Phil and I talked about it, and then I kind of started to rearrange it into I Love My Lips and made it more of a scat thing, for Larry to do scat, which was also kind of fun. And I saved the yodeling idea for a few years later when I did the yodeling veterinarian of the Alps, so the idea wasn't lost.
Well, what did you think of the story?
Oh my goodness, that was amazing. It was just a teeny little guy, but he beat Goliath, who was the biggest, strongest guy they'd ever seen.
It's one of my favorite videos, and I don't know if it's because I like the video as much or because it was a good memory making it, because it was on schedule, it was on budget, no one died, we had fun making it. It took 4 months, about 6 people for 4 months, and we turned it out. Like, well, that was easy.
Despite the fact that it was simple, it's still some people's favorites, because it's just a really cute little story with a great little lesson.
I laughed, I cried, it moved me, Bob.
Hi kids, I'm Tim Hodge, one of the artists here at Big Idea, and today I'm going to show you how to draw one of my favorite characters from Dave and the Giant Pickle, the sheep. Sheep are very simple to draw. Let's start off with a very light, let me just get my hand going here, very light oval on its side, just not quite a circle. At this point, it can turn into just about anything. Be Bob the Tomato, or we're going to do a sheep. Now right off to the side, not in the center, off to the side, we're going to draw the sheep's head. Like a big U shape. Get it? U? Okay. Draw his eyes in here. Just 2 little circles. There. And right in the middle, draw his pupils. Just little ovals and leave a little dot for a highlight. Now off to the side, get these little flaps for his ears. Everything's nice and round and curvy. Don't worry about not being able to draw a straight line, because we're not doing any of those. Just coloring the top of his head there. Coloring his face and his ears. Let's go back and find the lines we like and darken those in. See, cute little sheep face there, and you can even put his nose, just little black dots near the bottom for him to breathe through. Okay, and now we're going to do his legs. Now the sheep legs in Dave and the Giant Pickle were almost just little sticks, not a lot of joints or detail on them. So right underneath his head, going to come down, and very wide near the top, and they go inside the circle here, the big circle that's its body. See that? Come down just little points. So there are his front legs, almost right underneath his head. And his back legs, they're going to go behind the body there, because they're going to be covered up with some of his fleece and wool. Now we're not going to leave his body just a circle like that. I'm going to go around here and draw big, soft, round shapes. Big, fluffy ones. Big ones and small ones. Big one up here, maybe a couple small ones together. Make him a big, fluffy sheep. There, you see that? A couple right here where his legs tuck into the wool. That. Put a shadow underneath him because he's standing out in the hot, hot sun. And there you go. One, a little David sheep. A very fun and easy character to draw.
everybody, Dave here. I've got a fun activity for you and your family to try. It's called umbilical cord, and it's all about how little guys can do big things too. Just like I did in Dave and the Giant Pickle. To play, you'll need a belt, a blindfold, some paper plates, markers, and some rope. We actually use dog leashes. You really need at least 3 people for this game, but you can have 10 or more. The more people you have, the crazier it gets. First, have somebody put a number on each plate from 1 to 10. Then, spread the plates out in the yard or in a big room. Don't put them in order, though. Now comes the fun part. Cut a piece of rope for each person in the group except the smallest person. Each piece of rope should be about 6 to 8 feet long.
You ready?
Then blindfold that person. They won't be able to see anything. Tie the ends of the rope onto the belt with each rope spaced out a little around the belt, and put the belt on the smallest person in the group. It doesn't have to be the smallest person. It could be anybody. But I'm just trying to show you how little guys can do big things here. Then, have everybody else grab a rope and stand in a circle around him, or her. The object of the game is to lead that blindfolded person to step on each plate in order from 1 to 10. Be careful, be gentle, and above all, be helpful. The rope pullers will have to cooperate and communicate so that everybody goes the same direction. You could use a stopwatch to time the game and see if you can get faster and faster each time you play. What can you do to improve your time? Work together. This is a great game to show that your family can count on even the littlest person when things need to get done. It can also show you that even when we can't see where God is leading us, we still need to follow His directions.
Well, that was an interesting game. What did we learn from that?
Well, I hope you learned something and had fun playing this game. This is Dave, reminding you that little guys can do big things too. Bye!
Far, far away in the land of galoots, where the bigglebag trees bear their bigglebag fruits, and far lily bushes all blossom in yellow, and thimbuttle plants squirt snowberry jello. Here where the mountains of Rocky Magoo rise high o'er the meadows of Gilda Manju, where sunsets are painted with purple and blue, you'll find a small town, not much bigger than you.
It's a wonderful tale, and it's a nugget that tells all of us that we are uniquely made, each and every one of us.
The Snoodle's Tale is, for me, a really special story. I had this picture in my head of this little parable that I wanted to craft in this little world. And the goal was not just, how would Phil tell that story, but the goal was, how would Dr. Seuss tell that story? This was a story where it was more about the message. Kids come into the world and they want to do everything, and they think they can do everything because no one has told them they can't. But then as they grow, eventually peers come into the picture. And when peers come into the picture, the messages they've gotten back have changed as they go to other people and ask the question, what did I look like when I did that? That instead of, that was great, that was wonderful, you look beautiful. The messages all of a sudden as you get older start to change to, you know what, you look silly when you did that, or you looked foolish when you did that. But ultimately, we can't draw our self-image from our peers. We need to draw it from our Creator, because only the one who made us can see us the way we truly are. Only when you see yourself the way God sees you do you have a true picture. And that is so freeing, that's how you can sing, that's how you can dance, that's how you can soar.
Well, right now, we're working on a really fun story. It's called The Sumo of the Opera. And it's basically if you took the Mikado and Rocky and maybe tossed in a little WWF.
If you want to know who we are wrestlers of Japan.
Larry the Cucumber plays a sumo wrestler named the Italian Scallion.
That's no clown, it's his sparring partner, the Italian Scallion.
And that's his introduction. In each of our shows, we have what we call a nugget of truth, and it's a biblical value that we hope kids will pull out of the lesson. And in the Sumo of the Opera, the lesson is perseverance.
You never finish anything unless it's a punchline
There's actually 3 stories in this. The Sumo of the Opera is the main story, and then we have a little silent film called Going Up, which is kind of a takeoff on the Three Stooges. And then we have a completely new story, which is told in a new segment we have called Lutfi's Fanciful Flannelgraph. And Lutfi is a sock puppet that's done by Khalil, the caterpillar. And we've got all these 3 stories plus a silly song, Schoolhouse Polka. Larry has an accordion and a lesson to teach about vocabulary, but all done in polka style, so it's really kind of fun. It's hilarious, and I think it's one of the best things we've ever done.